Our son's name is Daniel Amir Battle. He was born on May 16th of this year, 2016. Daniel was 2 weeks early. They thought something was wrong with his growth after our last ultrasound, so they decided to induce 2 weeks early. It was 24 hours of pure pleasure. 24 hours later, he was born, and it was the most wonderful experience of my life. We decided to dedicate our son because we feel that children are a gift from God. It is through a baby's dedication that parents publicly proclaim their faith and their commitment to pass on to their kids, and so on and so on. So to dedicate our little Daniel to the Lord is an important factor in our life. What better way in doing so than to do so in front of your family and friends?
Our experience with the pre-commitment service gave us a clear view of Hannah's story, how she gave her son back to God. There we actually gained logical and gained foundational knowledge of why this particular event ties into our Christian beliefs and values.
As a part of the dedication process, we were asked to write a letter to our child. Laventress and I have not done so as yet because as each day that goes by, as I watch his transformation, I end up having different stories that I want to tell. So in doing so, I started an email account in Daniel's name. So Daniel will have an email account when he becomes of age, which will probably be obsolete. But he'll have stories weekly, bi-weekly, monthly from his dad and I, telling a different story as the transition goes by. We feel the most exciting thing about a public celebration with this dedication is to share it amongst our family and friends. Wisdom is the ability to hear God's word and apply that to everyday life. We are trying to encourage and will encourage Daniel to not only hear God's word, but hear it and see it through those who love the Lord.
I'd like to take time out and show a special thanks and a high level of gratitude towards Pastor Mike for his level of obedience. If he had not obeyed that particular Rhema word back when he was in college, I'm not sure where we would be and where I would be, where my relationship with Christ would be. His teachings has prevented depression, it prevented suicide. Whether it pertains to my behavior as a father, as a son, as a husband, hearing from God is extraordinary. In fact, that's how we got Daniel's name. I remember one evening we were lying in bed and just winding down, and as clear as day I heard from the Lord and said his name was Daniel. Now this was a little strange because she and I was believing for a daughter. As Pastor Mike has taught many times, like him and Mrs. Pete before little Mike came, that they were applying faith acts, towards that situation. And like us, we did it the traditional way, and we needed a miracle at this point because it was past conception. So I was debating whether or not I wanted to tell her that we had a son on the way, but again, I needed a witness. Of course, she was emotional. She cried about it, but we're grateful for the blessing, and we're looking forward to raising our son through his will and through his guidance and breaking those generational curses.
The parents that participate in the child dedication have already committed themselves to the Lord. They've already spoken a word over their children, so what you see in service is an outward display amongst church members, family, and friends of what has already taken place in private.